opening meet here in the Stroh Center, just your overall thoughts of just kind of the experience of what you saw from the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we had a pretty decent start on the first three events, a few nervous mistakes, and you're going to see that first meet. I was pretty disappointed in our last event. There were mistakes there that didn't need to happen, but, I know our team works so hard. Every time they go out, they want to be successful. And I just said, look, this is a learning opportunity. We've got NIU coming next week. We're going to have to be grittier. We're going to have to be tougher. We've got to be mentally on point, and we'll learn from this, and we'll improve, and we'll get that last event just in place so we can go for the win.
Izzy and Catherine won their events, being
Yeah.
bars and the all around. Those are kind of two staples that you've had. Last year with Izzy being a freshman, and then Catherine is her third year. Just the leadership as some of your girls have transitioned and graduated, moved on, and just how the youth, they've kind of stepped up to kind of be leaders, and they won in their specific spots today.
Right.
Just how what you saw from them, and just how you feel like the younger girls can feed off that.
Yeah, absolutely. Izzy's been training so well. She was a bar specialist last year, and she's also working on a floor routine, which is great. But she really doesn't settle for anything but her best every single day. And, we talk a lot about habits and training. You've got to have excellent habits every day if you want that to show up in the meet. And she is a prime example of that. She built off of last year. You can see her confidence already there. She expects to be striving for those 9.9 plus scores. So today was a great opening score, and I expect she'll really move up from there. Catherine also, has a lot of experience in the all around, and now she's a junior, and I see her taking more of that role of, not just focusing on her, but encouraging her teammates to go bigger and better, in practice so that they're ready to go. So, I really think she's going to continue to have a great season, and those two really thrive under the pressure situations. You can just see it. They love it. They're like, get me out there, and I'm going to bring my best. And it was exciting to see them have such a great start today.
They were both named people to watch in the MAC this year by the head coach. It's just, what does that say to obviously what they've been doing for their career, but just to set a stone, or set the for this year, just kind of like as a foundation.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that? Just like what do you think they could do in the MAC?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people really recognize what they have been doing. Izzy definitely turned some heads in that kind of specialist role last year, and people know that she's going to be one of those people at every meet trying to win that event. And Catherine's done such a good job freshman and sophomore year. Not every time in the all around, but she continues to grow in that role. And I think we'll see her hopefully every meet out there in the all around. She's one of those athletes that, I've never seen anybody love being in a competition more. She just, in practice, she's like, let's make this like a competition, or let's give me something that's challenging so I can hit this one routine. She just thrives under those pressure circumstances. It really ups her game, and she just turns it on the minute she's out under those lights. And I think those two are going to continue to succeed. And I think we have others that are going to break out, and you're going to see them. They just need to get that first meet going, and then they're going to step up their game.
That's a good segue to kind of my next question. Obviously, you have kind of a lot of new faces that are new to the program, but also probably more new to competition because as other girls move on.
Right.
Who has stood out to you so far in the preseason, and maybe today, just kind of like filling different roles, is like in some of these different events.
Yeah, I love Ackman's going to be phenomenal for us. She's got really big, exciting gymnastics. And as a freshman, we've seen her have some real great moments in inter squads and pressure sets. So I think as she gets more comfortable just being in that college environment, she's going to put some big scores up for us. And then Kira Thornton has so much potential. Again, I think just getting comfortable in the college setting. So I have a feeling she's going to really do some big things. Has the potential. Both of those two have the potential to be in the all around. They're training well in the all around. So just got to keep making the lineup, being in that top 6. So some exceptional routines coming from them. And, we've got a few more people just like so close, just getting lineup spots together. And I told them today, no one's lineup spot is safe. You've got to walk into next week thinking, I've got to earn that lineup spot all over again. If we can have that mindset, then we'll be pushing a score we'd like to see a little bit more than what we got today.
And you move, quickly into MAC competition next week. What does that competition look like in practice now as you try to make a move in the MAC?
Yeah, I really want them to be thinking more about us and let's beat what we did this past weekend. We're a sport where we don't impact the other team. One big goal we have is to try to win the MAC regular season. So that's going to be in the back of our minds because that starts next weekend. But I think getting out in Stro, this isn't an environment we've competed in a lot yet. So for them to get out there, new equipment, they handled that well. They adjusted to everything. But I want them focusing on, I always say, just like you're having a good day at practice, replicate that routine. Because if you do that, then we can win in the MAC. The MAC's going to be super close. Everybody's good. So you can't underestimate any opponent. And I know Northern Illinois is going to come in with a chip in their shoulder to do better than they did this first weekend. We're kind of closely in the score area of what we got this first weekend. So no doubt we're both going to be wanting to push for a big jump in terms of team score. And we just got to be better. We got to be ready to go.
And just to close, last question obviously is able to open up the year at home here at the Stro. How great is it to be able to have back-to-back weekends here in front of the home crowd and just being in the Stro Center this year?
Yeah, it was. You know what? I watched the team as you could tell it was time for the doors to open and fans were coming in, and someone just said, "Look, they're here to see us," and I was like, "Oh, we've worked so hard to get here into this building," and it's so special for our student athletes, and that's what it's about. That student athlete experience. That's what we're looking for. We want to create the best environment for our student athletes to compete in. And the visiting team today was saying, wow, what a beautiful facility. And, I know first meet out, we're all trying to get everything just right. Next weekend, it'll be even better. But great crowd today. A lot of enthusiasm. The fans were excited. And I thought it was a great way to start the year in the Stro.